Hello and welcome back to Haven and Hearth. I believe I have sorted out the stuttering issue that we were having last episode. Apparently, there is something in the game that simply doesn't cooperate with the game capture window or method, and I have to use the display instead, so here we are. Anyway, all I've really been doing in between is processing stuff into cone cows, getting the stuff for the cone cows, letting the cone cows come into, here and be studied. Takes about 20 minutes real time for a cone cow to do its thing. As you can see, the level's a bit higher, the quality is higher because I've been bumping up my survival as I can. It is very important to get survival to at least 10 fairly quickly, and higher if you can manage it, but not at the cost of certain other things. But that's mainly just because it is very strongly tied to many of the things that you can pick up. It'll be dragging your quality down if you don't hit at least 10. Like there's up here, as you can see in the mini-map, alley-oop, there is a little thing right there that we can go pick up. I don't know if I've picked up one of these already or not. I don't remember. Yesterday's episode was yesterday. There we go. Apparently I haven't. Alright, spindly taproot. As you can see, the quality is 5 instead of the default 10. That's because, naturally enough, our survival was too low. Now, we got 200 LP for that, it looked like. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm not going to raise my survival, even though I'm 5 points shy of being able to do it anyway. But I'm going to come over here to lore and skills, and we're going to use farming. So it was farming and will to power. We already got will to power. With the will to power. And we want farming. We're going to go ahead and buy that. It unlocks some new skills, including yeomanry. Yeomanry costs 4,000, but is really the next thing we need to get, because this is what will allow us to put down a claim, which is basically your first line of defense against, other players. Other players have to have certain skills in order to even come onto claimed land. In fact, it is trespassing, which is a 20,000 LP cost skill to be able to even step onto claimed land. So that is the first line of defense. So you want to get there pretty much as quick as you can manage without sacrificing too much else. So, we got a little stone area here. Oh, there's a mile marker of some sort. Interesting. Let's pop into the cave here again. It has been probably about 16 hours since the last video, so almost certainly there are different spawns in here now. And sure enough, that bat is no longer there, so we'll be able to get in a little bit further here. We got pick corn. Alright, ooh, got some points for discovering this, and I think... Alright, this is a perception food. That's important. Let's go ahead and just eat that straight away. Eat something. Hey, look at that. Because we're going to want perception, because we can come over here, raise our exploration more, and that will let us discover more things. However, it is exploration times perception that is what gives us that ability to do so. So raising our perception by eating food that is perception-based is a viable way to do it without having to increase, spend the points to increase our exploration quite so soon. And as you can see, we're starting to get satiated on withercorn. We're at 5% just from eating the one. But however, if you look, the perception is 0.4 on the withercorn. However, the amount of food event points you see has actually come down to 6.54. That is because one of the features is that for the number of different foods you have eaten since the last time you gained an attribute, which for us is never, um, the more different types of food you have eaten, the lower the total you need becomes. This is to encourage a varied diet. That and the food satiations, because now this wither corn is actually going to be 5% less effective as I eat it. There we go. Now it's 9, and we're up to 2.34. And I can eat this one. We're up to 13, but as you can see, we're up to 3.43. We're over halfway because the total is down to 6.54 instead of 10. Kind of an important thing. Now, the ideal thing to do would be to find a different perception food and basically do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and gather a bunch of these corns. Because who knows when the next time I'm going to have access to this area is. As you can see, there's a bat down in that area down there, so you kind of got to keep an eye out. Now, there were some moths over here. I'm going to walk past this. What's that? That looks like a mouse of some sort. Oh, that's a snail. Never mind. I can see it on the map. That's a snail. I don't know if I've picked up a snail before. I'm going to pick this one up. Da-da-da-da! Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put it back down because I don't actually have any use for it at the moment. Later on, you'll be able to make escargot. But for the moment, it's not any use to me other than the LP it gave me for getting it. Alright, so I can right-click on the map to chase down this moth. There we go. Not only did I catch the moth, which unfortunately is only 5 because of my survival, but it is a curiosity. 6-hour study time, and time runs roughly 3 times as fast on the server as in real life, so that'll be about 2 hours. Let's go ahead and pop that in. And let's grab a few additional if we can. As you can see, I'm automatically following the moth I clicked on. There we go, I got that. Let's go get this one. Come on. Come here. Come here, you little moth. There we go, and let's get this last one. There we go. All right, so I've got 3 additional moths in addition to the one I'm already getting. Ooh, pick mushrooms. That'll give us another little boost. All right, now since this is considered a tree, stuff came out at quality 10 because you're always going to get your quality of the tree off of tree products. That's one of the exceptions for the whole, skills affecting it. Now, if I wanted to grow new ones, my skills would affect the quality of the new ones I'm trying to grow. Although it would not be a hard cap the way that this collection has been. It would be a soft cap, like the crafting. So all told, this has been a good little foray into the caves. But we definitely don't want to do too much down here. You know what? I'm going to chip this boulder. Come on. There we go. That is quartz. Okay. All the various different types of stone will give you that initial discovery bonus. And I'm going to tell you right now, the discovery bonuses are important early, but really fall off as you go. So right now, really important. I mean, just from the discovery bonuses, we are back up to 645 from the 100 something that we had left. So as you can see, it is fairly important. All right, let's go ahead. Let's pop out of here. Let's figure out a couple of things. Alright, so there's this ant hive here. Unfortunately, if I go to try to raid it, which is a possibility, see, I can right-click, I can click raid. All of these ants will attack, and since I have no combat skills or even clothing, I will most definitely die. Well, not necessarily die, but I'll end up unconscious and with injuries, etc., etc. Now, there are definitely some things. Let's go take a look at some of this new stuff. Spruce cap, of course. I might want to make that. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. That'll be our first piece of clothing. I have 2 of these here. One important thing is these stockpiles. If I open it like this, I have access to it. So I can hit craft. Oh, that's because it requires specifically spruce boughs, and it's not spruce boughs in there. Never mind. So we'll not be doing that just yet. Food. What do we got? Wild grub. Grub. Alright. So any sort of bug. But I need a fire in order to make it. But it is, what does the default grub? Perception and agility. Now, I'm not going to do that because I kind of need these cave moths in order to, get my learning points up fairly quick. But spruce. All right, so if I click this examine button and then mouse over things, I can see what types of trees these are. And if I were to actually click on one, like say this bittersweet nightshade, or the, all right, why am I not? All right, I don't know, I was kind of stuck or something. All right, so if I click on this bittersweet nightshade, or maybe the larch, okay, maybe not. Maybe I need a skill in order to do that. It would tell me the quality, but apparently I don't have the skill for that at the moment, so oops. All right. Regardless, we need to get a few more things, I think. Actually, before we get too much further, I did want to continue looking at these guys. I don't know why I came outside, actually. Alright, so we have the ability for a drying frame now. That'll be important for making leather and getting started in farming. Containers. Alright, so I can currently make a wicker basket. It is a really crappy basket. Let's skip that for the moment. I need, before I go too much further, I need birch. I need a birch tree, which I am not seeing any of in the immediate vicinity. That's a spruce. Let's grab a couple. Ooh. Let's eat a bit more of that. What are these poppy caps? Ooh, those poppy caps are. Oh, requires more attention than I currently have. I have 4. This requires 5. Okay, so as soon as that cone cow is done, we can pop that in. That's good to know. 900 learning points will be useful. Alright, so let's do that. How am I doing on this? Alright, so we are bumping up our withercorn thing. You know, I might be able to. One more. There we go. And you'll randomly get this one eating too, which is an experience point tick. Like I said, just doing things will periodically give you more experience. Just basically because, it's all those things. But now that's on a cooldown, so I can't get that one for just eating food again. Not until its cooldown is done, which will usually take several days. Alright, so let's see. We got that. Let's go ahead. Let's move you guys up here. Grab a couple of boughs. There we go. Now, where was that? Clothing, hat, spruce cap. There we go. And we get a quality 7 spruce cap. Now, fortunately enough, the quality on most clothing doesn't matter. It does affect things that you do to the clothing later in the game, but hey, now we have our little spruce cap. And this ends up getting used kind of derogatorily in game because, it is the first article of clothing most people are going to be able to make. So you're like, oh, it's somebody wearing a spruce cap. They're new, Not necessarily full-blown derogatory, but it's kind of an early sign of, it's kind of a sign of somebody being very early in the game. So, let's take a look here now. I believe. Yeah, see, we don't have the ability to make any of the guildable items yet, which if you look at this, it'll say, look, it is guildable. That 5 to 20% chance is for the chance for it to remain guildable after you gild it. Basically being able to gild it multiple times. Higher quality clothing increases the chance of that happening, which means you can make a single piece of clothing do more. That's how quality affects clothing. There are things like armor and such, and those will have an effect as well. Ooh, hey, look, there's a flower. Let's go pick that flower. Actually, before I go pick that flower, let me just come over near the flower. Let's see if we can't raise our survival again. We can. There we go. Our survival is now 6, so I should get a level 6 thing. Oh, all right. All right, so I just got a double tap there. This one here is the fragrance of flowers. I got 200 experience points for picking a flower. This one here, treading grass. I stepped from another biome type onto grass. So there we go. Like I said, just doing things will give you the XP. So as long as you are actively playing, you're fine. Now what is the... Oh, here we go. Here's some birch. Now, unfortunately, we are heading towards that boar. You can see it on the map. But let's just kind of hope that we can kind of avoid that. He's over there. Alright, so I've got 4 of these. How much attention do you take? You also take 5. Darn. Let's just step over here for a moment. I think odds and ends. Alright, that's that thing, which is what it wants us to make. But there is also pack. Alright, that requires 6, unfortunately. So I actually can't do that yet. However, I think there is also our first gilding, bark reinforcement, which will just gives us an improvement on unarmed combat. We don't need that at the moment. That's packs. Oh, there should be craft containers. Here we go. Birch bark basket. How do I want to do this? Because this is where I'm near the birch. Alright, let's do it this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, I would like to make a birch bark basket. I'll place it here. We're going to say build. It uses the 4 I have on me. Look, it's 4 out of 5. Let's take this bark. And we're going to go ahead and take this bark. Oh, hey, that's the cone cow done. Which means, let's see, 18 hours, 2 hours. Let's do the 2 hours one. That way I'll get it through the system faster. Let's build that. There we go. That basket is done. Let's go ahead. Pop most of this stuff we don't need to keep on us in there, because as you can see, it gives us a little 3x3 inventory. Alright, so that's all stuff is all in the basket now. Let's go grab some more of this birch bark. Take bark. Take the bark from this one as well. We're going to go up here and pick this a different flower, because it'll give us some more points. And is also a curiosity as well. Alright, there we go. We just got a little bit more. That's the silk moth. I'm not going to grab that. Alright, we're going to come over here. We are going to lift that. And we are going to start slowly walking back towards our little dugout, which was in this general direction. I think I can... I'm not sure exactly where, but we'll find it. I kind of came this way. Now, if I had moved my hearth fire to over there, which I will need to do eventually, I would be able to just use the return to hearth fire while carrying this, and I would return to the hearth fire while carrying it. Now, this little thing here is a very short duration speed boost. Yeah, you can see it up in the corner there, and speed boost is done. Like I said, very short duration. Now, where was that dugout? Little bit of an oopsie. Oh, you know what? I think it's south. Or in this kind of direction, because this isn't exactly south, because I remember that patch of stone was nearby that we see in the corner there. Oh, and there's water relatively nearby there, too. Kind of an important thing to see. So we're just going to walk back with this thing. Oh. Mysterious cave entrance. Okay, so this is... Yeah, there's our cave, but this is the... It has come into quote-unquote sight range, which is the mini-map. Look at that, we just happened to see it. And therefore it's like, oh hey, this is an experience. And there are plenty of things like that, like, you know, I think all of the localized resources have that as well, like the mud pits or the clay pits and things like that. I don't think I can jump while carrying this, so I'm going to have to go around. We'll just kind of putter right on around there. And we're coming back real quick here. Now, I'm going to need something more that counts as string if I want to make that backpack, which I very much do. Because I need, 2 string and 6 of this birch bark. I have 7 birch bark on me, which means I don't really have any to spare. I got 1 to spare. Yeah, now see, those ants won't bother me unless I either attack them or attack their hive. Important to know what things are going to attack you and what things won't. So here we go. We'll just put that there. Boop. All right. Just like that. And all of this stuff is here available for us. We have brought it back. You can't lift everything, but most containers you can. So let's see. We need some more string. So there are things like that taproot that counts as a string. And this is another one of those items where it doesn't really matter what the quality is because it does a task. And that task, as you might guess... Oh, look at this. There's a box over here. That task is, of course, expanding my inventory. Let's take a look at this box. I don't think there's anything in it, but yeah. Oh, there's a box there. I might want to grab that. Somebody left it sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. So I'm looking for string. Anything I can use as string, and I need 2 of them. Now see, this is where exploration would come in handy, because I'm probably running past tons of them that I'm just not allowed to see. Oh, look at this. All right, let's grab a little bit more bark. That way I can do the other thing it wants me to do. All right. It wants us to make this thing, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, but it's basically a little cup made out of birch bark. There we go. I have the little cup made out of birch bark. Draw some water. Well, it's a good thing there's this big old lake right over here, isn't there? Do. And you might be wondering what this is. You know what? Yeah, we will come up to this one here, and I will show you. This is a milestone. I can follow, and it'll take me to the next milestone of its particular path, which you got to set and build up on your own. There we go. And this happens to be the end of it because that was water south was the name of it. So somebody set it to come here. I'm guessing that this is actually a higher quality water, although I can't necessarily tell that at the moment. All right, so we've got that. Restore energy until healing by eating. Drink some water to restore stamina. Well, we're not actually out of stamina yet, but you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go ahead and grab this box. We're going to go ahead and walk back. Actually, you know what? I think this is a... There's different types of bark. Nope, that is not the type of bark I want. That is regular tree bark. We're just going to put that in. All right. There are different types of bark. So there's the birch bark, there's regular bark, and then there is what's called hard bark. I think it's called hard bark. And it varies depending on... Yeah, no, see, that's the same. I don't want that. I don't remember what types of trees produce the hard bark is the problem. I don't think it's any of the conifers. Maybe whatever this is? Yes, there we go. Now I need one more. What kind of tree is that? So that I know. That is an elm. Are there any more elms around? Does not appear that way. It seriously does not appear that way. I'm kind of looking. And I'm very much not seeing. One random elm out here. Alright, well, let's see what this one has. That's a cherry tree. I don't think that's going to have it. No, that's not going to have it. I'm not even going to save this. I'm just going to dump it there. I need one more piece of the hard bark. I need 4 to do what I want to do. It's not necessarily a matter of I need 4, it's that I need 2 sets of 2. Oh. Let's turn our... Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there's somebody's land here. There's a message here. This will do more than anything else to give away my location, but wake up, Brandon. Okay. What about you? Nope. What about you? Did I grab you? Nope. Alright. Well, I'll go ahead and show this off for the moment. I now have this processing of materials, and I can make bark cordage. Takes 2 pieces of the hard bark and a little bit of water. There we go. Oh! The birch bark counts. Okay, and I had 1 extra. I did not realize the birch bark counted. Okay. So that means now I should have all of the stuff I need to make the birch bark backpack. Bam. And now I will go ahead and put that on. And as you can see, my inventory got an extra row. I can now carry more stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do is in between episodes here, I'm going to go ahead and work on basically gathering some stuff, bringing it back to our little dugout, and we're just kind of running through our stuff, try to get the necessary learning points for yeomanry. And that shouldn't be too difficult to accomplish by the time I need to record another episode, because I'm probably not going to do another episode of this until the weekend. I think this is going to become my weekend series. So, alright, we're bringing the box back. We're gonna wrap the episode up roughly here. I just kind of want to get this box into our little dugout first. And let me tell you, as soon as I'm able to get yeomanry, I'm going to start recording an episode. Because I do not like not having land claimed. And since these episodes are going up, someone is going to be able to tell where I am. And if they want to mess with me, they will end up doing so. Which is part of why this series doesn't get a lot of coverage on YouTube. Alright, so let's go ahead and just kind of put that there. I will go ahead and put that away. We're going to put these guys away. And that is going to do it for this episode. We have a hat, we have a backpack, but we still don't have pants or a shirt or shoes. Hopefully this episode has had nowhere near the stutter. I've kind of been glancing and I haven't noticed any that was not part of the game itself, because there is a little bit of rubber banding. It's an independent game and is trying to sync up a bunch of people all at once. There are hundreds of people on, not the thousands of most MMOs, but it's a relatively small independent game. And it's fun. Gotta be said. That's gonna do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.